The following program contains scenes and language of a frank and explicit nature. Discretion is advised.
Me?
Yeah, you. It's a prerequisite.
All right.
Push it out, push it. That was very good. Todd Newman back in the house. Good, buddy. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
How are things?
They suck.
Okay. For a second, I swear to God, I'm like, he might say something positive here for the first time
They suck.
ever.
It was okay when I was still at the house, and just the drive over.
It bums you out.
Killed it for me.
Sorry about that. Before we get started, I would like to welcome a new Patreon person to the family, Miss Katina Antonucci. Thank you for joining. If you guys want to support the show, patreon.com/rareformradio. Pick a tier that works for you. Bonus episodes, behind the scenes stuff, blah, 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 early access. And anyway,
Dick pics?
we're working on it. We're trying to do a little drop-down menu for dick pics.
Trying to get a bigger dick?
Yeah. So far, it's just all Heidi's dick pics.
Her dick is huge, isn't it?
It's clit-ish, but her clit has balls on it, which makes it very weird.
For a clit, you got some set of balls.
Hell yeah, dude. Welcome back. You've been you just got back from Italy as well.
Yeah. Italy was fucking great.
Give us some cliff notes of that, because you came back a different man.
Yeah, I just want to move there.
It blows my mind.
Yeah, I really do.
You actually...
I had the same experience when I went to Japan and Korea, like Japan more so than Korea. I would, if I could live the way that I vacationed there, you know what I mean? Like just all
the best of the best everything.
Yeah, like the best hotel and just
private
live in
tours
there. Yeah, private tours of things like that. I would move in a heartbeat. When you fly back into this country, people who travel abroad will know what I'm talking about. You're just like, this place sucks.
I feel the opposite.
It looks like shit. It fucking operates like shit. Nothing really makes sense here either.
Well, especially LA.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
LA 100%. Yeah.
Flying into LA kind of bums me out, because LAX is one of the worst airport experiences in the whole world. In the whole world,
That's why I don't really like to travel.
Yeah. I'm with you on that.
Unless I can go out of Burbank, which is the easiest in the world.
But absolutely. That's why I moved to the Valley, just so I could make Burbank my hub for work.
Yeah.
What made Italy so great?
The food, first of all. And I don't, that's a cliche, like, the food, Italy, Italians, with the food and everything. That's not what I'm talking about. You can eat anything there with impunity if you have food issues here.
You're talking
like,
pasta, pizza.
Like if I eat 2 slices of pizza here, everything. If I eat pasta or pizza here, a pizza mostly here, like within fucking half hour, I got a stomach ache just because I'm older now. Cheese doesn't break down the way it used to, or whatever.
And somehow every pizza adds 10 pounds to your body.
Right.
Every one.
They just don't put the shit in the food that the American government lets companies put in the food here.
And their government forbids it?
Yeah, I think the government forbids it, and I think the people won't stand for it. There's such a food cuisine cult-based culture.
Right.
They just won't stand for it. It was the same way when I was in France. It was the same way when I was in Japan, same way in Korea. We're like the only ones that really allow fuck what the people feel like. Yeah. But you can eat all day. You won't get, I got to go take a nap. Oh, I'm fucking so tired. I ate too much. Oh, my stomach hurts from that shit. You just don't get that. You just don't.
Yeah.
So that was one reason. And when you come back and you're just like, I can't even get that stuff here. Do you know what I mean?
I do.
You just can't even find it here.
Because I feel like shit every single day.
And it's because of the food we eat.
Also, I don't even eat healthy for American standards.
Right.
I eat shitty for an American.
Right.
So like, I mean, I'm like the worst of the worst.
Like I was eating meals where it was like, first of all, they also don't Americanize the portions.
Right.
They give you like what you're supposed to eat and you're fine with it like very quickly.
Right.
So it's not, everything's not supersized.
Everything here is family style for one person.
Yeah. Exactly.
So good. But you brought the whole family.
Yeah, brought the whole family. And just the people were fucking great. I heard a lot of people that have been there before that I know were saying like, oh, Italians are kind of like the French. They don't like Americans. Like that's a stereotype that the French are nasty to Americans. And
A little true.
a little bit true, but like
Also understandable.
right. But then I started to realize, taking into consideration the people that were telling me that, I'm like, oh no, it's not that they don't like Americans. It's they didn't like you.
That's funny.
Because like if you just go with the flow and you're not like obtrusive and everybody's so fucking nice and cool. Like it wasn't. I get like when you're staying in a 5-star hotel and that's their job to be nice to you, but I didn't have that experience out in the world of it either.
I have found that the key is to remember that you are the foreigner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be respectful.
Yeah, of course.
You know, be grateful, be respectful, fucking thank someone when they fucking help you out with something. Like
I'm sorry, could you explain? I don't understand this. Would you mind explaining this to me? You know,
Right.
just menu things or food and
every
be
time,
kind.
every time I got annoyed, it was because there was some fucking jerk off American like, this isn't hot enough, or you know, like just shit like that, like embarrassing. It's fucking embarrassing.
I have such a hard time with people talking to wait staff like that or treating anyone
like
as
that.
less than. Infuriates me.
Yeah, I mean, I'll get hot with people, but it's reactionary.
Of course,
it's never like entitlement.
I'm better than you.
Just walking across the fucking street, like here, right when you come back, you pull out of the airport, and just some fucking jerk off on their phone, taking their time, walking. There's a whole line of fucking cars. Just shit like that doesn't happen there.
No, you're right.
They're like more community oriented,
or just self-aware.
Yeah.
All of it. All of it. Did your kids? I always notice that like, kids never really appreciate when they're on vacations or seeing cool shit. How did your kids do with it?
I think they did more this time than just because they're older now. You know, I took Luca to see a pro Italian soccer game.
That must have been insane.
It was. I don't care. You can go to, you know, we saw Milan play Fiorentina. That's Florence's local team, and Milan happens to be. My son and we're fans of that team. So they happen to be coincidentally playing. So
what made you Milan fans?
I just have been since I was young.
Why? Was there a player?
From the players, yeah. There are multiple players. Pirlo, like a bunch of players. So, Ronaldinho, one of the greatest players, he was on Milan for a while. Anyway, you wouldn't relate to any of that. But
I don't. Soccer is tough. Soccer is like
yes, I'm mentally little retarded, but that's okay.
That's me when it comes to soccer.
Is that a retarded Indian?
Yes,
person?
it is.
Okay.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Okay,
Good call.
thank you. I know my retards.
You sure do. You know your retard accents when you hear them.
But we went to the game, and just the enthusiasm to the people. Like, first of all, you can't really get a ticket for a good seat because they're all season ticket holders. So the people who are going to every single game,
right? That
are locals that live there. So we got a hookup and we got tickets and we were kind of off to the side. And then there was another American couple sitting there, and they were like, "Oh yeah, you can't get those tickets." Like they told us the ins and outs of it. But the enthusiasm of just this regular game, no championship on, I'll put it up against the fucking Super Bowl or the World Series any day. The crowd, I'll show you the videos later.
Please.
The crowds go insane.
And it's just a regular mid-season game.
Yeah, just a regular fucking game. Yeah.
Were they rivals?
I mean, well, they're not
historically,
not historically in that way, right. But yeah, I mean, they're
two Italian
teams playing each other. Yeah,
cool.
But, like when I told the people at the hotel, I'm like, look, I need to hook up a car because I didn't want to not know where I was going and stuff. Yeah. And I told them I had tickets to the game. They were like, "Oh, you got the tickets!" Like they were like. They've been trying to get tickets to this game, and it happened to be the night before Easter.
Italians are like a big deal, stereotypically you know? Italian. It makes me laugh.
Yeah. So,
no, you didn't.
So I don't know. Are you a fan of the movie Defending Your Life? Have you seen
With
that?
Albert Brooks?
Albert Brooks, yeah.
I've seen it when I was a kid. I haven't seen it since, but I like his style of movie a lot.
So there's a scene where there's an Italian waiter where Meryl Streep's eating the pasta and whatever. He just looks at the guy, at Albert Brooks, and he goes, "You like a pies? I'm going to bring you a 9 pies." Right? So we had this one waiter who was like... he was talking to my wife. She's like, "Can I get a martini or whatever it was?" He's like, "You like a martini? I'm gonna bring you 2 martini. You have one and then a one for later." Like, and I was like, that's the guy.
the guy.
Right? So for the rest of the trip, like, I showed the clip to my kids so they had reference. And everywhere we went, when anyone had an accent, I would just lean into the kids. I go, "I'm going to bring you a..." They're like, "Dad, you're going to get our asses kicked." Like, they can hear you. I'm just like,
I'm going to venture a guess that you said that for the rest of the trip. I think it's continued after.
oh, yeah,
Okay,
good.
good.
I
know-
did
I
it
know my
last
Todd
night
Newman.
to them. Yeah.
I'm going to bring you a 9.
I'm going to bring you a 9 pie.
This one thing we do good is we hone in on one funny thing and use it for months and months on end.
The thing with that kind of humor is, the trick is, be prepared for it to not be funny. And
you'll
for
get
it to
there.
be annoying to the person, because then it comes back around
course.
again.
That's the
and they
key.
can't help finding the humor in it.
You can't do it once and
You
knock
just
it all
have
out.
to
You
keep
commit.
hammering it. There was another time we were in Tuscany, Siena. We got a tour, and it was a local woman that was, our tour guide,
Yeah.
and she grew up there. And Siena's like this mount, it's in the hillside, and there was like Museum of Torture was there, because this is where like they stopped all the pilgrims who were coming across and like, "You're a Christian now," like, and tortured them into Christianity, shit like that. So she's talking, and like it was almost like she was doing it on purpose, but she said after every English word she said, and she spoke really slow. So she would say, "You are
It's like Heidi.
standing on sacred ground." And so
I would have blown my head off.
you wouldn't have, because she was so cute
It was
that I
endearing.
almost I wanted to leave my wife and kids and just move and live in Siena with
Move
this woman.
into a house with a her.
Yeah. And like I told my wife that, I was like, you
out.
guys are done. I'm gonna marry this chick.
Fight to the death, bitches.
So I started doing that to the kids for the rest of the trip too. Like Lola would be, she'd be like, I'd be like, I'm hungry. What do you want? Dad, fucking stop it.
You're such a good dad, but you're also such an annoying dad. It's so great.
That's what I get back.
Of course.
That's the reward I get for being a good dad,
told
is
you
to be the
before.
most annoying father ever.
That shit that you do is what makes me, the only thing that makes me want to be a dad.
It's the only reason why I had kids.
So good. So fucking good.
So yeah, the trip was awesome.
Awesome. What's the next trip for you guys?
I don't know. This was kind of like Luca's going away to school next year. So this was like, let's do one big family, just us 4, because I don't know when our schedules are all going to be in sync again. So
You should come out to Europe for the Jane store for something.
Yeah, maybe.
Do some cool
Where are you guys heading again?
Oh, I forget. Where are we going? We start in London for a while. We're there for a bit. Let me look it up here. We're going to like Amsterdam or Madrid.
Amsterdam, I've been there. That's
pretty cool.
Yeah, I love it there.
We're going to Scotland. We're going to Ireland. We're going to
Ireland now.
Germany. What's Lausanne? Is that Czech? Czech. Okay. I don't know. Zurich.
Czech.
Nickelsdorf. Going back to Italy. Yeah, we're going all over the place. I don't think I'm going anywhere new. Cologne, Paris. Paris is good.
Yeah, Paris is
They
great.
do fun shows in Paris. Be good to have you out there.
Let's hope it's not one of those Eagles of Death Metal shows, though.
If it do, it'll give the band a nice little boost, though.
Yeah, where are you going to hide?
Do you know what's funny?
Do you
those shootings-
consider that?
since Sean London came on Dark Matter and
which
told
was
the
one of the
story,
best Dark Matters we
without
ever did.
question. I wish
Yeah.
all the shows were still online because our friend Sean was a front of house guy, sound man, who we've known for almost 20 years.
Yeah.
And he was doing front of house.
And one of the
when
greatest guys ever.
great dude.
Yeah.
But he was there for the shooting and he came on, must have talked for 2 hours just about his experience and the PTSD and like walked us through it. But since that, and since just there's so many fucking lunatic shooters, every single gig I walk into, I'm like, well, if someone comes here, I'm hiding here. This is where I'm running. If there's a fire, like this is where I'm going. Like
It's crazy. That's how you have to think.
I even think about it because Jane's Addiction missed 2 stage collapses by a day each,
Right.
like 10 years ago or less. So then I'm like, if the stage starts falling, where am I going to dive? How do I dive off the stage?
Right.
I try to be aware of all of it. You don't, do you?
I do that when I fly. Ever since, with flying, I just, all right, that I'm watching this guy, I'm watching that guy. If I have to get up and jump
brown guy.
Yeah, if I have to get up and jump over this guy to get out of the plane, you know what I mean? How, like, I start navigating the entire escape.
I get it. I also, like, since I'm an aisle guy on planes anyway, but with all the fucking doors flying off of Boeing planes, I'm done with windows forever.
See, I was always a window guy. And then after 9/11, I became an aisle guy.
Why 9/11?
Because
they all died.
well, yeah, but they didn't have me sitting in the aisle.
Fair.
Are you a reactor? Like, if something went down,
Yeah, that's why I want
you're
to sit in the
fast?
aisle. Like,
I would sit there and just stare. I'm like, oh, this sucks.
You're like, box cut me here.
Yeah.
Right
no,
here.
I would start looking for fucking,
I'm an
accomplices and like, who can I count on here? And
Especially
Not me.
If I have a feeling that like my life's in danger or that someone's going to get hurt, I think I'm an actor as well. I get involved.
yeah,
I get involved.
I almost want something to happen so I can get involved.
I think it's upside down, some shit.
I
Yeah,
think they're backwards.
I think there are too. There's been plenty of we've talked about this before where I go through periods every couple of years
You
where
have
I'm
your period?
like, yeah, where I walk the streets looking for a problem. Like,
Yeah, I've done
like
that.
Death Wish Dan, where I'm like looking for someone to step to me or like, what
That's
are you breaking into a car, motherfucker? I'm gonna
That's the
snap.
Charles Bronson in us.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
and
I get
I'm
like
ashamed of it, but I do it.
Why are you ashamed of it?
I don't, because like to look for violence when we should be looking for peace.
What
Todd.
you should be ashamed of is the personalized plate you put on that truck. Because when I pulled up behind it,
Come on, dude, it's great. Don't talk about
I
it.
was
though.
like, oh, I won't say
Yeah.
what it is, but the fact that you have a personalized plate changes everything.
I have 2 of them.
All right, one on the front, one on the back.
No, on each Bronco.
I assumed it was 2 of them.
No, on each Bronco.
I can't get behind it.
Oh,
man.
I love vanity plates are the shit. Do you know the basis for the one that you saw today?
Well, I know.
Okay.
I can't really say.
Yeah, okay,
otherwise
but
I'll
you do-
blow it.
you do
Yeah,
know.
yeah, I got it right
Oh, I
away.
love it.
I pulled up right behind the Bronco and I just rolled my eyes like, what a douche.
I'm surprised you didn't spit on it.
I did.
I'll tell you the other one afterwards. Actually, yeah, you've seen the other one, but vanity plates are the shit.
They're not.
That's how you cut, dude. How's it?
I'm fine with like you want to get like you want to pick what color the plates are because like in LA or California we can pick from
a lot of options.
white and black and white, different settings on the little pictures on the plates. But like I'm for that.
Okay.
But personalizing, I can't.
I would think you'd be into it.
No, why? I don't want every fucking person to know when I'm driving. First of all,
That's the only thing
it's
that I ever
my
think
car.
about. Right.
Yeah. Like
It's tough to have that as a getaway vehicle.
yeah. Exactly.
This plate says Dan Cleary. I think it might have been Dan Cleary. Would you rather have vanity plates or like all kinds of bumper stickers? Let's think about it.
Well, neither.
No, you have to have one.
If I had to choose one,
Like those Vermont hippies with like
Yeah,
baby
yeah.
on board, fucking
Yeah.
Star Wars shit, or one vanity plate that says Newman or some shit.
no, I think I would go. Yeah, I can't do the bumper stickers either. Like
I know you got to do one.
That's a rough choice. I guess I would have to go vanity plate.
Wow. Oh, you
And
throw
my
me.
vanity plate would be I hate vanity plates.
That's good.
I hate vanity PLT.
PLT, not enough space. Are you a vanity plate guy?
I don't think I would.
Yeah.
Just because I don't want to spend money on it.
It's 50. It's like $50 a year.
Is that it?
Yeah.
50?
Yeah,
50
it's
a year.
not expensive.
I agree with, like, I don't want people
Yeah,
knowing
and
my
it's
car.
also like, hey, look at me, I'm a douchebag.
Fuck you. Oh, fuck you. I mean, both of my vehicles are already, hey, I'm a douchebag, so who cares?
Yeah, but
You gotta
that's
lean into it.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. I'm proud of you leaning into your
Thanks, buddy.
douchebagness.
I appreciate that. I appreciate it very
So
much.
you just went somewhere that was interesting.
Where?
The other night? Didn't you not go to a big event?
Oh, dude. The greatest roast of all time, the Netflix roast of Tom Brady.
Mm-hmm.
Did you watched it?
I watched it last night.
You finished it?
Yeah.
Okay, this idiot skipped around and like just didn't watch.
I don't know shit
all right.
about football.
Yeah,
so.
but you can still, even if you don't know. I mean, if you know the players in the game, it's funnier. But even if you don't, there were some.
I
good
watched it with
moments.
my wife, so I would have to say to her, like, that guy is that. This
Right.
guy does this. This guy, this, how he knows him. Like, I did have to do a lot of that.
Right.
For her to really get most of the jokes. Like,
Yep.
But did you have a good time?
I swear to God. I mean, obviously, I'm a diehard Patriots fan. I love Tom Brady. Unbiasedly, I think it would have been one of the best nights of my life if I wasn't a fan. It is, I swear to you, it's the best live event I've ever been to in my life.
Really?
Better than any concert, any comedy show. And we had the shittiest seats, like a stage left, like there was one row behind us, like
Right.
truly nosebleeds, where the roof kind of cut off part of the stage. And
Did you
it
have
was
those
still,
little opera binoculars?
yes, and the fan.
Yeah.
But it was incredible. I mean, the list of fucking people, like, look at Kevin Hart hosted it, who I thought was hilarious the whole time.
He was good, but I don't traditionally like Kevin Hart.
Oh, you don't?
comedian.
Well, I don't like his comedy.
Yeah,
and I don't
I
like his movies. But when he hosted the Oscars
Yeah, like
and
the-
hosting this, he was perfect at it.
There was definitely an authenticity to him.
Yeah.
But I'm usually not a Hart fan.
But
It's
we
like
get-
you're either Chappelle or you're Hart, and Chappelle.
Sure.
Well,
it's
him out of the wall.
well, that's what the joke about.
Right,
Yeah, yeah.
exactly.
So Kevin Hart, Jeff Ross. I mean, the roast master. We
Jeff
had him on
he
Dark
had
Matter.
him on Dark Matter. Jeff Ross is a fucking.
The best.
This is what he's born to do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nikki Glazer, who was fantastic.
She was great, and
She always is.
She's been on other roasts before,
All of them.
And-
Most of them.
and like, I was on the fence about her, but I've seen a bunch of times she was on Howard and so, and I was like,
She gets it.
I think she, out of everybody, her bit was flawless. Her
Perfect.
timing,
Yeah.
her rhythm, like if you're talking on a comedic level,
Yep.
and like what roasting actually is, and
Yeah.
because there is a cadence to it from like the old days and the Friars
course.
Club and all, and she got it perfect. I
I
think.
feel like her and another. I'm not a big fan of this guy, Andrew Schultz. I don't love his comedy, but his execution. It was like a joke, tag that with another, and then like each joke went
See,
with
with
each
him,
other.
I am a fan of his comedy,
Are you?
and
I like his worldviews, not as much as his comedy.
I thought I didn't think he was bad by any means, but I was like, I'd rather just see him do stand up for half an hour than do
Okay.
this.
I mean, so Tony Hitchcliffe, I thought he was fantastic when he went down the row of people talking.
Oh, that's
shit.
the guy who's the podcaster?
Yeah.
All right, because right when his face came on screen, I was like, this guy probably has a fucking vanity plate. Douchebag. I've seen him before, like in clips, like when I'm scrolling through, and there's just something that rubs me the wrong way about him.
He gets that a lot, I'm sure.
He was fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
Roast wise.
Yep. Really, really
like
good.
for what I also like don't know if people really understand too. There's a difference between roasting and roast comedy and just being funny.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Not all comedians can do this.
No.
And not all roasters can do stand-up comedy.
Right.
I mean,
you can
it
tell
is
by some of the football players, like
Of course.
yeah, they're you know what I mean?
roasting is truly an art form.
Yeah.
Because you cannot hold back at all.
No, you
to
have
sell
to have
it.
a confidence. Yeah.
And it must be. Have you ever roasted someone besides me every time we do a show? But have you ever like roasted? Like some
I
people
don't
have.
really need to after that.
Ew! Some people have birthdays where like they'll like a
Yeah.
50th birthday, your friends roast.
yeah.
Could you be roasted? Do you have the backbone and the like? Could you deal with it?
I could act like I'm dealing with
But
it,
inside you're like, oh.
but I'm gonna get that person back. like without them knowing. Like I'm gonna ruin their life.
I'm gonna cut their brakes.
yeah.
Fucking dick.
Cut their tendon in the back of their heel so they never
Be like,
walk
did you see
again.
the roasted Trump? He kind of had that look.
Oh,
where he
yeah.
was like, I don't think he realized what he was getting in for.
Right,
He's like,
That's probably when he decided to
the
become
fuck are all
president.
these people?
Yeah. I'm gonna fuck everybody.
I'm gonna win the
Yeah,
presidency and kill these people. But I mean, like that girl Sam J, she was great.
Yeah, she's great.
Tom Segura and Burt Kreischer. Tom Segura is one of my favorite comedians. I thought their bit kind of stunk a little bit.
Yeah, one of the reasons why is I just don't like the goofiness of Bert. What's his last name?
Kreischer. Yeah.
Just the constant like laughing at his own jokes.
That's
I
him.
get that that's him. I just don't care for it.
There was something that happened live that we saw on the cameras that didn't make the Netflix live cut.
Okay, do tell.
It was wild. It was one of the actually funniest moments. So there's a part where do you remember who was roasting him? Who made the comment?
that Sam J.
It was Sam J.
Yeah.
The chick. She was saying how like the best comedians like you should be dead already from like a cocaine overdose. They party.
Yeah, well, that was on there.
No.
Not all of it.
No.
but that
Yes.
premise was on there.
So she's saying like, most of the best comedians party and do cocaine and like you're so boring. He reached into his pocket, pulled out a baggie of cocaine and shook it. The place went nuts. And like Tom Segura, who's his best friend,
right.
was mortified. Like, holy, I can't believe you just fucking did that. The whole place.
That's actually now I like him.
You can hear it when you because I watched it back. You can hear the crowd response, but Netflix didn't add him holding
With
the
the
coke
cocaine,
bag.
yeah.
It was fucking hilarious.
That's cool.
It's one of those things, one of those moments where like if you weren't there, you missed that.
I was wondering because I had my suspicions of who was doing cocaine and who wasn't.
We'll get to that because
Okay, yeah.
but we'll make a marker on that.
Because you're telling me we've already talked about that.
Let's
and
bring
we'll
it up.
get
Say
to
it. Yeah.
So I was positive that Drew Bledsoe should be in rehab.
Drew Bledsoe was the quarterback before Tom Brady became Tom Brady. He got injured, and that's what gave Brady his chance, and then he became Tom Brady.
And ruined
Pretty
Bledsoe's
much.
life.
Pretty much, yeah. Exactly.
But he was just,
And doing a lot of,
and I'm like, there's no way. I even said turn to my wife. I'm like, there's no way he's not fucking on an 8-ball right now.
Right,
Like
right.
he's got so much cocaine in him. It's so obvious. And you said
He's a little bit like that.
He's just, but being a little bit like that and being like that,
He might have been on something.
I think I put my money. I'm a fucking ex-drug addict.
True.
I fucking put my money on it that he was on blow.
And there was a certain mouth thing when
Yeah.
people are on coke.
Yeah, that he was
He
doing.
wasn't doing the jaw thing, but there was a lot of like touching the nose. There was a
Yeah.
lot of like he could have been super nervous
Yeah.
as well, but there was a little cokiness.
Fucking crackhead.
Kim Kardashian,
Yeah.
when she, I mean, the list: Sam J, Burt Kreischer, Andrew Schultz, Bledsoe, Julian Edelman, Patriot, Gronk, Patriot, Randy Moss.
All right, so let's talk about
We'll get to Gronk
for
in
a
1 second. Hold
Okay,
on.
okay.
And then Bill Belichick, the coach, the owner, Robert Kraft, Ben Affleck. I want to talk about Kardashian, Peyton Manning, and Ron Burgundy was one of the highlights.
Yeah, he was.
When Kim Kardashian walked to the stage, the whole place booed. It was so uncomfortable and horrible.
Right. I was booing from my living room.
Oh! So she had to her first joke, she had to say it twice because the booing was so loud.
Speak over the booze.
So I just read that Netflix edited out the
'cause
booing
I didn't
part.
see
Yeah,
it.
you couldn't hear it
Yeah.
too much in
You
the
couldn't.
Netflix. No, you
And,
told
like-
me that they did, but I
Yeah.
was like, I didn't hear much.
And they made it so her first joke. I mean, it's better for the
That's the way the
broadcast.
world works, my friends.
Live.
Yeah.
Live. So if you watched it live, you saw
Right,
it, but
right.
on the re-edit,
Yeah,
it looks like she did a lot better than she did.
Yeah. I don't have anything against her personally. Everything that her and that whole family stands for,
I know.
culture-wise, I just can't.
It's so weird because she's like a civil rights person. She
Yeah,
fights
she does
hard for the environment.
She does really
civil
good
rights
shit,
stuff.
and I just can't get past.
I get it.
Like what the culture has become because of these people.
Hitler
So it's
may
like-
have been a dog lover, but
Yeah,
he's still
yeah,
fucking,
yeah.
He did
I
that
just-
other stuff too.
I can't get behind.
What were you gonna say about Gronk?
Oh, I was just gonna say because I've seen him tons of times before. I'm not a Patriots fan. I obviously
everyone knows who Gronk is.
Yeah, I know who he is.
He's fucking ogre from Revenge of the Nerds.
Yeah, I've seen him on other shows and stuff like that. He used to do some children's game shows too that the kids used to watch, where he'd be like the co-host or whatever. So I was telling my wife, I was like, watch. She was like, everybody's talking about how dumb he is. Like, I'm curious to hear him talk. And I'm like, he's like the fucking like the frat guy, football jacket frat guy that's
Dude.
going to be like, you know, bring more kegs. We're going to feel like he's like
He's
that.
ogre.
He's that.
He
Yeah.
was born to do one thing. And he even said,
yeah.
like, listen, I run into people for a living. Of course I'm stupid.
Yeah. But when he started going off book and off the prompter,
And calling it out.
and like, and then
I wrote that one.
Yeah, but it was so obvious that that's what he was doing.
Yeah.
And he's just like, you can stand up and suck my dick, Kevin Hart. Like, and you're like, and he was like leaving the mic and just pointing at him. And I
Yeah.
was like, oh my God, it got really uncomfortable.
Well, that's when Kevin Hart made the comment about like, you are every white guy that makes us nervous. Like
Yeah,
at a
yeah.
bar, like,
Yeah,
like he goes,
yeah.
I'm looking around and see Randy
that's
Moss.
how lynchings happen.
Yeah, exactly. That's funny shit. So Gronk's his senior quote is like parents, Gordy and Diane Gronkowski, College Choice, University of Arizona, hobbies, working out, playing sports, chicks. That's his actual senior shit.
And the fact that he was like, he's the guy that makes a person that doesn't drink like do a shot.
Of course.
Like he's that guy who was doing it on
Yeah.
the show, you know?
There's no way. I mean, alleged. I feel like there's no way that all of his sexual encounters are consensual. There's just no.
And there's
way.
no way that they're all hetero.
You don't think?
No.
Come on, no, because he's definitely.
No, I'm not saying that he's gay. But there's just like guys like that, they'll get into that mode where they'll
hole's a
fuck
hole.
anything. Yeah.
Oh fuck.
Yeah.
And you
And
know
let's
you can't
talk
stop
about
him.
let's talk about it because many people brought it up as jokes. Tom Brady's 100% gay.
The best line was like, "I don't know how, but you look like a gay Tom Brady." That was a great line.
Yeah, and if you look at him, like when they were cutting away to him when you
Yeah.
know his reactions and stuff, he does have like this weird like
Yeah.
gaze about him.
Get it?
Gaze
Yeah.
with a Y,
Yep.
with an A and a Y.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's a weird guy.
I haven't seen him on. I haven't seen him in a while on anything. And like historically, I would argue that, but now watching him, like he is a little weird.
When they showed him dressed up in that fucking thing where it was like some weird Star Wars outfit or
Yeah,
whatever,
at the Met Gala.
I was like, oh my God. Yeah.
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 And-
They're making jokes about the obvious.
Of
is
course.
what they're doing. Like,
Do you remember the jokes they were making about this guy named Alex Guerrero? They kept pointing to him in
Yeah,
the crowd.
yeah.
Do you know that deal?
no, I know. No, I don't know. I mean,
So-
I know kind of who that guy is, but I don't know what
He
the deal-
basically is the person who got Tom into this like crazy nutrition regiment and like no sugar, no just
Yeah.
so strict.
Gay
And-
food.
and- of course. And he's
What
the one that
gay-
people claim
what gays eat.
exactly. But
This is why they look amazing and we don't.
he's been people have pointed to him for a long time as being like he would be part of negotiations. He would travel with the team everywhere. Like he was weird, and I guess people hated dealing with him because
Right.
it's probably pretty obnoxious.
Right.
But yeah, he's a weird dude, and there's a lot of comments. I didn't realize how weird his friends thought he was.
Oh yeah.
And like no sense of humor,
yeah.
no
yeah.
nothing. But
Gay.
yeah, have you ever been to a roast? Like a proper like one of these roasts?
Not like the Comedy Central ones, like where you're in the audience. I've been to them on a smaller scale where they're not televised.
If there's ever another one in LA, whoever it is, I really think we should go.
Yeah, I'm
It was
totally
so
into it.
fun.
Yeah, I'm totally
Really, really
into
good
it.
time. And like I figured there would be like obviously Patriots fans there, but people like walking in and talking to people. People traveled from all over the country to come see this. I didn't realize how big it was going to be.
Well, I guess the fact that Netflix is taking it, I assume they're taking it out of the hands of Comedy Central,
It feels that way.
which is a smart move, I think, on
Sure.
their part. But
Comedy Central. I mean, it's dead, pretty much dead. I feel like.
yeah, but I mean that was the home of the roasts.
Yes,
That's
of
where
course.
all the ones we've seen already have been that production. And if Netflix is going to do it, of course they're going to blow it out of the fucking water, like
Yep.
how big it's going to be and how massive.
It was pretty flawless.
Yeah, and I just also like that most people just, at least the comedians, just went for it. Like, this is what this is, and if you're not, then don't watch it. You know what I mean? Like,
People said retarded. It made me happy to
Yeah,
hear.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it's a point.
the racial jokes going back and forth, the sexist jokes going back and forth. I loved it.
That is what a roast is for.
Yeah, that's what it's supposed
It's
to
like
be.
it's like maybe like the last truly sacred place at the moment.
Yeah.
Not to harp on, like, I hate when people always just criticize who did bad. But can we talk about Ben Affleck for a minute?
Yeah, I think he's been bad in everything that I've ever seen him do. So it wasn't
You and I argue about
surprising.
this. We have different feelings on this, but
I think you're just partial because you're a Boston guy. So
I think I can put that aside. I think Matt Damon is 1,000 times ahead of Affleck, but Affleck's
Yeah,
has
he
done
is.
some good stuff.
What?
Give me a second.
Yeah, see, there you go.
Good Will Hunting, great. The Town, I thought he was good in The Town, and that might be about it, but that's fine.
I don't think he was great in
Argo?
The Town. I think no, I didn't like that movie. But The Town I did like.
He is a great director, I will say.
But I don't think he brought anything different to The Town.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So that could have been just as good with somebody else.
And what's his name? Who's the other guy in it?
Jeremy
Jeremy
Renner.
Renner. I think
He was better.
he's one of the fucking most talented actors around.
Is he good now, by the way?
I think he's on his way to being good.
Can he walk?
Yeah.
God, that was crazy
Yeah, it's
shit.
fucked up.
I thought the Affleck was that was tough. It was like one of those things where you're there and I'm kind of sweating a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, why is he harping on this fan thing? And like, he's doing that thing where when you're nervous, you just keep saying fucking.
Yeah, he just wasn't good.
Yeah. And he's the only one that did his part and then walked directly off stage.
Yeah.
And probably he didn't sit down to enjoy the rest.
Yeah, because he didn't want people talking shit.
You're probably
I'm sure.
right. Yeah.
Which is another, like, if you're going to go.
Of course.
Everyone's open.
Dish it
It's-
out.
It's open season on
Take it.
anyone taking part.
Yeah.
You
I
know?
completely agree.
Yeah, but I was not. Even my wife was like, that was kind of fucking awkward and terrible.
Speaking of awkward and terrible, anything else for the roast, by the way?
No, I just that I believe that it was proof that he's gay, Tom Brady. And here, I have one question.
Sure.
Because there's a lot of like, I know what's her name, Sam J. She's like, I'm a Bostonian and da da da. Why do you guys from Boston are so Patriot heavy? Because they're not a Boston team. They're not like the Boston
they are.
Red Sox.
They were the Boston Patriots back in the day.
When?
Maybe the 60s or 60s, maybe?
You're grandfathered out.
No, that's fine. But like,
They're the New England Patriots.
but they played.
They're not a Boston team.
Correct. I'm from New England. I mean, I do claim.
So
New
are
England,
other people that aren't
but
from Boston.
They also,
That's my point.
They do play in Massachusetts.
But you guys kind of claim them.
Of course we
as,
do.
This is our
They
team.
claim us, dude. They are our team. People in Maine claim them. New Hampshire,
That's what
Vermont.
you get when you have a gay quarterback.
But I will tell you what it is the Patriots were always so fucking bad. Like when I was a kid, it was like Steve Grogan and then Bledsoe was supposed to be like the savior guy.
It was when they had the guy on the helmet.
This
Patriot
guy.
Yeah.
That's
that
the guy. It's
Yeah,
way
that's
better
the
than
guy.
they call it the
Yeah,
Flying
yeah.
Elvis is
Yeah,
terrible.
Are the Redskins no longer?
No,
They're
the
Washington what now?
the
I know that was a controversy.
The
forever.
Commanders. I like Redskins.
Yeah, me too. That's another one I never understood. Like
The Cleveland Indians are gone.
really?
Yeah, they're the Guardians. Yep.
Well, how does that make Guardians feel?
But we do still have the Alabama, which is great. I mean, they're still. You can go ahead and clip that one out.
The New York N words.
It's the Knickerbockers. Yeah, we've gone over this before.
But
it's the K word.
I just don't understand. Like,
I'll tell you what it is. I mean, it truly is because the Patriots were so bad for forever, and then Brady came along and he won a championship in his first season, and it was. Go ahead.
he came along.
Yeah, he sure did.
Every guy's
chin. But he was just. I mean, he really is the best to ever do it. He won. He played in 10 Super Bowls, which is fucking insane, and he won 7 of them. It's a 700%, like 70% of his Super Bowls.
But okay,
he
so
won.
do you think he's the best quarterback ever?
Without question.
Because it does take a team. He's got
Of course
people,
it does.
And Patriots.
Joe Montana is right there.
Yeah. That's what I was gonna say.
But Brady did it with a different coach. He did it over he had a 20-something year career, and he won with different teams, like different groups of dudes over and over and over again, and two different teams, different owners, different coaches. And when there's 2 minutes left in the game, it was insane to watch. He would come through almost every single time. I mean, we'll never see it again. It was as a Boston
I just don't
fan.
agree.
How do you not agree? It's not even really debatable.
It's different players now. It's like any sport. Okay, so you have, say you have like a Michael Jordan.
Yep.
Right? We'll talk basketball for a second.
Sure,
So you have Michael Jordan, who's like obviously the best.
Not
right?
obviously anymore.
But that's what I'm saying.
Right.
Why? Who's
LeBron,
up there now?
LeBron is
Right. Which is just a joke that's even a comparison. But
why?
LeBron plays in a different game than Michael Jordan played in the 80s. So if Tom Brady.
How so? What's different?
Rules are different. Pay is different. Agents and all that. Like there's so many other factors.
I'm open to all this, by the way.
In
Yeah.
becoming like a major athlete and sports phenom that is different today than it was before YouTube's and before streaming and before the sneaker deals and the like that. Michael's just he started that actually.
Absolutely.
Right. So
of course.
So the game definitely changes and players aren't as hardcore, I think, in any sport as they were in the 60s or the 70s or the 80s because I can't get hurt. I have to do that. You know what I mean? Like I have other career opportunities. I can't fuck my face up. You know, there's other pressures that didn't exist with certain. So if you have like Joe Namath playing in the fucking snow for the Jets, that's a different game that he was playing with different type of human beings in those games than today. And there's rules for protection. Just think about the one bar across or a leather helmet compared to what they have now protection-wise. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying it's really hard to say if he's the best ever. He's the best ever in this time period. You know what I mean?
Who would you consider the best quarterback?
I would put Joe Montana.
It's only Joe Montana or Tom Brady. It is only those guys. Like no one else ever even comes up in discussions about it amongst football unbiased football fans. It's Joe Montana or Tom Brady, and it's like if you really break it down, Tom Brady blew away every single record Montana had. Montana has no records that Tom Brady hasn't beaten by a lot.
I hate Joe Montana, and I didn't always, and I'll tell you why.
Please.
So I'll give you Brady just because I hate Montana right now. I saw an interview, or I read an interview, where he talked about, because he was at Notre Dame when Rudy played, Rudy Rudiger.
Never saw the movie.
Rudiger. Oh,
Never saw the movie.
dude,
I know. I love sports movies. I never did.
I can't. You've never seen Raging Bull? Those are two sports movies, essentially.
I know.
I open invitation. You come over.
I've seen I saw Fever Pitch.
Rudy is the best. Rudy and Hoosiers, I think, are the two best sports.
Rocky? Come on, man.
I don't consider that so much a sports movie. There's so much other shit going on in that movie.
There is, but
I mean, I guess you're right. I'll take that back. I guess it is a sports movie.
Another great one, Miracle.
Miracle's great, but
Disney
the
movie,
original,
but
the original,
Original?
There's an original.
I'm talking Kurt Russell, dude.
No, I know, but there's an original that I think is better. Miracle on Ice, it's called. No, I'm gonna play with this.
You have to stop that, please. Mute your mic.
Miracle on Ice is that's the one that they made when I was a kid.
Oh, I didn't know there was another theatrical movie of that.
Yeah, and you should watch it because it's really good.
Okay, back to Joe Montana.
All right, but he said in an interview like, that's bullshit. It was all a joke when they carried him off the field because they carry him off the field at the end. It doesn't really ruin anything for you if you haven't seen the movie.
I've seen that.
Yeah. He downplayed the whole significance of the movie. Like, he was a joke.
Why would he
Like,
do that?
Who knows? But people got really pissed at him for it because people love that.
Were Rudy and Montana like? Did they?
No, I don't think so.
So there was no like animosity. It was just the attention, maybe.
It's just maybe the attention, or why are you making a movie about this guy? You know, when like, look at me, I'm Joe Montana. Make a movie about who knows? But I lost complete respect for him because he killed it for me, kind of.
Fair.
But have you seen Hoosiers?
Yes. When
Gene
I was a
Hackman?
kid.
Great.
Yeah.
To me, that and Rudy are the two best sports movies ever. Like feel good at the end of the movie sports movies. Yeah.
One more thing about what endeared Patriots fans or to the Patriots specifically. That first
Tom
year,
Brady's gayness.
in 2001 is when they won their first Super Bowl, and they were playing the St. Louis Rams, who called themselves like the best show on turf. They were just that whole season. The Rams were just unbelievably good. The Patriots were the supreme underdog. There was no way they were supposed to beat the Rams. So in the Super Bowl, like Ohio State University, Todd Newman, and each guy in their college one by one. The Rams are introduced.
Never go to Ohio State.
Whatever. It takes forever to name every guy.
Right.
And then it came time for the Patriots, and they say the New England Patriots have chosen to come out as a team. So here are your New England Patriots.
Right.
And at that moment, we're all like, we just won the Super Bowl. That was the most that had never been done before in Super Bowl history, and now every team does that. So it planted the seed of like don't say not a cum joke. It planted the seed of like this is a full on team. It was badass, and it was the moment that we all. It was like
so everybody from Boston just jumped on the coattails of their awesomeness.
You're damn right. That's the whole point of sports. That's what we do. That's the whole point.
No. You're either a fan or you're not.
Of course, but we've always loved the Patriots even when they sucked ass, and we were lucky to have 20 years.
Apparently, from what I saw at that roast, they still suck ass.
a little bit. But that's it. Brady,
Okay, so let's ask you this: how would you feel if like he just literally came out, and was like, just so you know, all those jokes, they're all true.
Oh, I don't give a fuck. If Tom Brady came out and said, I'm a gay man,
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck. It makes it even better.
I know. I'm
makes it
really
even
just
better.
setting you up to
Yeah.
see what you would say.
Well, I think it'd be.
but
I
think it would too, actually.
I wouldn't care at all.
Yeah.
And it would make me think. Like,
But
when
how-
I met him, I should have actually tried to suck his dick.
But how many people do you think would have backlash from Boston? That's not
lot.
a progressive fucking
Yeah,
place at
Boston
all.
has not caught up
No,
to where society's at with a
no.
lot of things.
It's very unwoke.
I like the Boston racist jokes in there as well about how Randy Moss
it's
has been
the most-
fighting racism his whole career, which is why he refused to win a Super Bowl when he was in Boston.
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
Oh man.
That was good shit. Can I ask you a serious question?
Yes.
Have you ever sang "Happy Birthday" to a dog?
I ever sang "Happy Birthday" to a dog,
Because someone in this room has.
and it's not me. It's
This fucking
did
guy, dude.
It didn't happen.
Him and I were on the phone the other day, and he's like, "I gotta hang up soon. We have to go to my girlfriend's brother's house to sing Happy Birthday to his dog." I was like, "Dude, what did you say?"
I can understand
You
if it
little
was
fucking-
your dog, but
Dude, it's an 8. How old's the dog, you idiot? I have to go.
Fuck you.
It's the dog's birthday. We have to stop what we're doing and go sing Happy Birthday to a dog.
did you sing it like in dog
This
tones?
didn't
Like,
I've never wanted to be your friend less.
I fully understand. I've never wanted to be myself less.
Why would you even tell me that?
Because, dude, I'm fucking dumb.
Do you want to know how dumb he is?
No.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Yes.
tell me.
Today, we went into the band didn't rehearse today, but we went in to do some work anyway. And I made a comment, I made a joke about like Mexicans or something and Navarro, and he just like he was like this, his mouth agape, huh? And he's like, I don't get it. What do you mean? I'm like, Navarro. He goes, what? I'm like, he's Mexican. He's like, he is. He thought this fucking dude thought that Dave Navarro was a white guy.
He changed his name from Jones to Navarro, from Smith to
McNeil.
Navarro.
His name was Dave McNeil is what he used to
I'm gonna
be.
go ahead and leave now.
And it's like, I've never met someone else named Navarro. I didn't know. But even sounding it out,
Yeah.
it only sounds like it's from one place. And dude, he's fucking brown.
I'll give him that. He's not really
He's
brown.
not white. He's
but
olive.
he definitely looks
Latino.
Hispanic.
Yeah, Hispanic.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. Yeah, couldn't believe it. Are you sure we're recording?
I stopped recording when you brought up the dog.
I thought
birthday
you
thing.
might
It's
have.
cut.
So Todd, dude,
Are you a fucking retard or what?
Yes.
Are you a fucking retard?
why? Why did you
Which
share
part?
that? Yeah,
Which
and
part?
You said you weren't going to do it, but you have to be honest right now. Did you go do it?
No, we did. No.
Why? How did your girlfriend let you? Please, you have to stop that. How did your girlfriend let you not go sing to the dog?
I don't think she even did it.
Whoa.
We got busy with other shit. So
Oh, shit. Okay.
I'll keep you posted.
You guys sing to
Instead of singing "Happy Birthday," how about we fuck?
much better.
Something
Yes.
more manly.
Do you ever sing "Happy Birthday" to Jake, your dog?
No, that's what I was trying to think. Have I ever done that? Because that's the only dog I ever would have. Because the only dog I've ever owned. I'm certainly not gonna do it for my brother's friend's cousin's
Can you
8-year-old
imagine
dog. So
driving somewhere to sing to a dog?
And I don't think
these
I
idiots
have.
Did 100%?
yeah, I don't think we've done. But I do get him like birthday gifts.
That's okay.
My dog.
But you also, speaking of, dude, can we talk about gifts for a minute? Mm-hmm. You are known, I've said it a million times, what a great gift giver you are. Once again, you rolled in and you brought, is that showing up? Breakfast Club socks. We got John Bender and what's Claire's last name actually? Claire Standish?
Yeah,
This doesn't make
Claire?
sense.
it's a fat girl's
Dude,
name.
John Bender and Claire Standish socks. I'm so stoked about this.
I got myself too. And I was just like, add to cart 2.
You got both of them?
Yeah,
Or just
I got-
Bender?
No, I got both of these. But I got them for you.
Thank you.
And then there's Andrew Clark ones which I won't allow you to wear.
Why is that?
Because he's just not the guy in that movie.
True.
He's a pivotal guy in the movie.
I feel like you wouldn't let me wear Bender because he's the obvious favorite of everybody.
No, but he's cool
the
enough.
guy.
He's the guy, And like I looked for, and I'm sure they make them, but I just didn't see them for sale anywhere.
Allison?
Allison socks.
Allison would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
But this is the couple. This is the happy
Yeah.
couple in the movie.
But I almost feel like Allison is cooler than her in the movie.
Oh, then Claire?
Yeah, like character wise, like
Oh, 1,000,000%.
yeah. But the Andrew, the jock thing, and I'll tell you what, because I just watched it recently too with Lola. She had never seen it, and the one cringeworthy part of that movie, to me, let's see if you could spot it. There's one part of the movie where I'm like, I wish they cut this out. I wish they didn't have this.
Considering it has to do with Allison? Or with
With whoever.
the one cringy part.
Yeah, where I'm just like, this movie did not need this, and I hate when it comes on, and I'm embarrassed to see it.
It has to be the dance break. Is it
Yeah.
the dancing?
Well, it's the dancing, it's the dance break, but not even that part.
Because
like,
they
where
wouldn't have
they're-
had music. They wouldn't have had music going. They had no way to play music. So what are they all dancing to? That's what I was
Well,
wondering.
he puts on the music in that
He does?
little room. Yeah, Brian does.
He does?
Yeah, he goes in. You hear the record scratch. Grr. One thing that you have to suspend.
Why is there a
belief
record player in the library?
Why is there a record player in the library, and how does the guy not fucking hear it?
That's what I'm saying. That's
yeah.
why I always thought that they were just pretending.
No, so he does. He puts on music. The fucking part that I can't deal with.
When Allison becomes the hot chick,
No, I like that too.
You do?
I mean, it doesn't bother me.
it makes me feel like you should be ashamed for being gothy, and that always bugged me.
Well, Lola
Have you seen Breakfast Club?
Lola made a great comment. She was like, "I like the way she looked before. Like, I
Fuck
think
yeah,
she looks
that's your
plain."
daughter.
And I'm like, "Yeah, exactly." So that would be my complaint with that is she looked way hotter to me, all fucked up and gothy.
Cringy. I don't know.
It's where Emilio Estevez smokes the joint and he has like this, and he's
It breaks
fucking
the glass?
Yeah, and he's doing flips all over the thing, and then he breaks the glass with the thing. Like,
It wasn't PCP. It was fucking weed.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I just didn't. I don't buy it. I don't like it. I don't like the way he acted it. It makes me embarrassed for humanity. Yeah, that whole thing.
The punching.
So like, I'll forward through that every time.
Interesting. Yep. Okay. Yeah, the whole dance part I didn't care for.
And that's why no socks.
Okay.
You cannot wear those socks.
What about Brian Johnson?
Yes, you could wear it. If I find those socks, I'll buy them for you too.
Check this out.
I'll tell you a story off air.
Off
about
air?
him. Yeah.
Well, can you tell it without saying who it is?
I had interactions
Okay.
with a certain person that
Okay.
I'll tell you about, but I can't tell you what the interactions were.
Okay. All right.
They're very Tom Brady-ish.
What?
No, I'm just kidding.
This guy's a 7-time Super Bowl champion?
Yeah.
Holy shit, dude. Wow. Can you tell we can cut it out?
No.
You don't even want it recorded.
It's not even that. I'll just
Okay.
tell you after.
All right, cool. All right, fair enough.
It's always good to keep the people thinking. There should be mystery shrouding
they
the
want to
show.
They want to be a part of this so
Yeah.
bad. So bad. All right.
They want to be a part of it more than I do.
Jesus Christ, dude. The sad part is it's so true. So true. Did I send you the casted of sit down Q&A? Did I send you that link?
Mm-mm.
The Breakfast Club cast did like a
Yeah,
couple
who was
months
the
ago.
one that didn't? There was one person that
Emilio.
didn't go, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, good.
Of course.
Good. Then it's my kind of reunion.
But it was great watching them like talk about the characters. And Bender showed up for his audition in these clothes.
In the clothes, yeah.
And like he didn't give a fuck. He had the whole thing figured out.
Right.
But
I've heard
Judd Nelson is someone I've wanted to interview or talk to forever.
Right.
We were trying to track him down for Dark Matter.
I remember.
But he's kind of like an off the grid dude.
Yeah, I used to work in a place, I think I told you this, when I first moved out here, a restaurant, and he used to come in there.
The pizza spot?
Yeah, and he was one of the first kind of, I was 22 years old, like he was one of the first, like, oh my God, I was a guy from the fucking Breakfast Club kind of moments.
Yeah.
And it was cool because I was working at a place that was owned by an actor, and he was doing lines from my boss's movie to me, which was just a very surreal experience.
Yep.
But he was a nice guy to me.
Did he have the goatee then?
Yeah.
His off-screen goatee guy?
Yes, he did.
He's got a cool look. Even still nowadays, he's got a cool look.
Yeah. Yeah, I wish he would fucking do more.
I guess in this Q&A, they were talking about how, we've always discussed why haven't all the John Hughes movies been...
Shit.
Unbelievable.
Go ahead.
Todd's phone is going off. Some bullshit about his dogs. Todd's phone is going off. Now, back to the pod.
I didn't know we were going to be able to use that one again. That's
yeah,
right.
usually I'm not here at this time.
yeah.
I have a lot
Or
of
here at
alarms.
all.
I have a lot of alarms in my
I know
phone.
you do. What were we saying? What were we talking about?
The Q&A.
Oh, like what we've always been worried that people are going to start remaking John Hughes movies.
Yeah.
I guess
impossible.
He has some kind of like a clause in his contracts that like forbids his movies from being remade. Because they were talking about it on the panel where like
if he owns the masters, like how a musician can potentially own their masters, and you can't.
right, like one of his I don't know if they said this, but like one of his last wishes, like in his estate, is that his films are not remade.
And they shouldn't be.
Absolutely
because
not.
there are a handful of directors.
Imagine remaking Tarantino. Imagine someone remaking
Yeah.
Pulp Fiction.
Right. Well, there's a handful of directors that direct movies in a specific style that's only singular to them. Wes Anderson does it. Like, so if you want to remake that movie, just don't even call it that. Don't even, like, if you want to be
Repackage
inspired,
it in a sneaky way.
Yeah, just make
Detention Saturday or something.
Yeah. You can't. That's like, I liken it to music as well. Like, I guess there you can take a Beatles song and remake it into like a fucking thrash version of whatever. There was actually a band in the 80s that did a cover version of Eleanor Rigby. That's completely speed metal. And I liked it. That's different.
If you're gonna do it, it has to be almost unrecognizable.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, why? Just fucking re-release it. If there's a studio that owned it, I get that he has this clause where you can't remake it, but do a deal with his estate and re-release it theatrically.
Yeah.
Make it a fucking thing where
do the 4K.
Parents my age are gonna take their kids and do the movie experience.
I saw it a couple years ago at the New Beverly. The New Beverly on it's on Beverly, right?
Yeah.
Which is Tarantino bought the theater and
Yes.
saved it.
Yes.
He did great. I invited you to what did I invite you to recently?
Was it 16 Candles?
No, it was Heat.
Oh yeah, Heat. I just
Heat
couldn't
was
go.
so
Yeah.
fucking great.
Yeah, Heat's great.
But in that Q&A, it was all of them have such love for John Hughes, and they were saying that, like, how would you just what makes his movies great to you? What was it that he was so good at? I want to see if you would same thing that they said.
It's I mean, I'm sure I'm not going to say the same thing that they said, but there's like a music to his film, and I don't mean musical, that makes it specific to him only. And from what I've seen interview-wise with him, he always had love affairs with his characters. Not for real, but like with Molly Ringwald or the actresses that were... I think that he understood the time period that he made movies and what teens, especially like the 14 to like 16, 17-year-old, I think he had an understanding of that adults just did not have.
That's what they said.
Okay.
They said that what they loved about working with him and what came through in his movies is he's like maybe the first director that ever didn't portray young people as children.
Right.
That like teenagers, they do have their own sort of like mature feelings. They're not just like dumb idiot, they're that too.
Yeah.
But he humanized like high school people and junior high people.
And especially
give them depth.
In that time period, he had a masterful understanding of the time period we were living in.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
So yeah, and he was there's a good documentary too. I think it's called like Looking for John Hughes or something like that. When he was still alive, there was a group of like fans that tried to contact him because he became a recluse and wouldn't go out in public.
Why?
And stuff. Because I think he got slammed by critics of like, his movies are just bullshit, teenage. Like some weird things started happening where he wasn't getting accolade for anything because they were never up for nominations, or like he wasn't getting the recognition from the business or his peers as being taken seriously as a filmmaker. And I think he just had one of those types of personality where he was just like, fuck this. And he just kind of went underground, and they tried to contact him before he passed away. I think he died really young too.
How old was John Hughes when he died?
John Hughes died August 6th, 2009 at age 59 in New York City.
Yeah, I mean, that's not
young.
old.
That's young.
And, but that's a great documentary to watch, but because they really kind of go into that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, if you watch those movies now, the shit that they got away with, like the way the culture has changed, like you just can't, you actually can't remake those movies.
No chance.
And yeah, you can go back and re-examine, but that's the way it was back then. Like, why go back and re-examine? It's just not like that anymore.
No point.
You know what I mean?
No point.
Like, so.
Plus, with ChatGPT, you can write your own new features all the time.
That's
now.
right. That's right. That's right.
Have you fucked around with it at all?
I have fucked around with it at all, and a project that I'm working on that I'm just going to be tight-lipped about what it is, but a project that I'm working on, I was given a little advice, like, you should try and convert this into a book, and I just started, just out of curiosity, just feeding it. I'm not asking it to create content for me. I'm putting the content in. That's, I think, where a lot of the issue is of
Sure.
where it could be used as a tool or where it could be the Terminator.
You're coming in with
You know what I
a
mean?
fleshed
Like-
out idea with
Fleshed
characters,
out with characters,
with dialogue,
with everything, and just feeding it in and having it reformat. So the stuff that it spit out, of course, I have to sit there for weeks and punch it up, like rewrite it, and it'll start using the same words for adjectives over and over again, or it'll misunderstand stuff and start calling your character he when it's a she or stuff. So you have to spot all that kind of stuff.
That's okay nowadays.
Yeah, exactly.
Please don't gender your characters, dude.
But just for workload, like literally it would take me a fucking year to do what I did in a day.
In one day.
One day. Now I have weeks of work cleaning that part up.
But still.
But it's all my content. It's all
That's
so
astounding.
yeah, it's not so I'm against it, to be honest.
This is what I want to get to here.
I'm against using AI to create.
It's the Ozempic of creativity.
Yeah. Well, it's fun to like fucking create pictures and whatever and like do deep fakes or it's fun in an entertainment way.
But then do you pass off those pictures as your own art?
Right. That's the thing is it's not. I mean, you know, you're not an artist if you have it make a painting for you, push out, you know, Picasso stuff meets and you give it this super prompt and it pushes out this thing and then you print it out and you frame it. No, you're just like a conductor. You're not
even.
Yeah,
You're just like,
it's just
someone do this for me.
Yeah,
thank you.
Well,
Great.
You know, to me, it strips
You're
out
Rick Rubin.
Yeah, well, I think it strips out the human connection, and I hope that humanity eventually recognizes that you have to have that connection to be moved by something that's human.
We're not going to figure that out.
I know we're not going to figure that out.
Look at Amazon. Like,
yeah,
we're told from the beginning, like, you have to support mom and pop shops. We're not.
Right.
Whatever is easiest is what we will do.
Right. But if you're standing, you know, in, you know, a museum in Europe and you see these, you know, I was just in the Vatican, I was just at the Colosseum, like, and this is saying that, you know, one thing is AI generated and one thing has been standing for hundreds of years and was made with the bare hands of human beings in pain and living in a time. If you elicit the same fucking reaction to it, I just feel bad for you. You know what I mean? But like the ability to fake stuff is going to be way easier. I just hope that true artists can see the difference between to get the visceral reaction to it. So on the one hand, look at it like, I was just having a conversation about this with someone the other night who eloquently put it like, if think about like Pro Tools, right? Or if you're making music, it used to be you just had to do everything in a studio with real instruments and and all that. And then these things come where you had to have an engineer, someone who knew how to work the board, producer, you know, all that kind of stuff. And then technology changed and you could potentially
need a laptop and an interface.
Right. And an interface, and you could start creating music. The people who listening to the music still know what's good and what's not. You know what I mean? And what's, you know, there's that part of, but it helped people who couldn't afford an engineer, who couldn't afford studio time, who were talented. So it was used as a tool, Pro Tools, right? If you can use AI as a tool, the way I am, like I already have all the creation. I just need it reformatted so that it doesn't take me 6 months to a year to retype everything out in that way. It could be something that's useful. It won't be, because human beings are disgusting, evil people that will use it to make money quicker and faster.
Yeah.
You know? So I don't know. I'm on the fence. Like I just used it for something, and it helped me tremendously push out something that would have been so time consuming that wasn't.
But do
so
we
I don't know.
Do we know as people when to pull back?
Well,
This is too easy. This needs to be harder for me. I don't think people are going to do that.
right. It makes me think about like what fucking like Stephen King must feel like.
Dude,
like
this guy died yesterday, Steve Albini.
yeah.
Steve Albini,
the producer.
He died yesterday. He did Nirvana in Utero. He produced the Pixies, and his whole thing was like, we're not chasing perfection. Like,
Right.
And he goes, I'm here to like. His whole thing was like, I'm here to work for the band. Mistakes are good. We don't need to be perfect. And with technology, things are just it needs to be so perfect.
Too perfect. Yeah.
Did you see the quote I posted of his?
Loved
it. It says,
Oh, I did see it.
Yeah. Let's see here. Any day now. Anyway, whatever. Oh yeah. Remixing is for talentless pussies who don't know how to tune a drum or point a microphone.
Right.
Yeah. Not doing the work. But yeah, AI is weird. It's a very slippery slope. I've started messing around with those AI songs, and he used to like play music and be in bands and stuff. And you sent me something. You just put some of your old lyrics and sent it into this Suno thing.
Yeah, it's fucking insane.
And what was your prompt? Here are the lyrics, and you say,
you type the lyrics, then you type genre.
And that's
it.
it.
Put like bluesy, gritty guitar rock.
And it shits out two versions, and like you can't tell that that's the computer. It's even
There's some
a little
spots
bit.
where you're like, that's a very digital sounding voice.
Right.
Yeah.
But it was very interesting watching how it took like it knew what the chorus was.
Right.
Like I did it for a couple different ones, and it knew like, oh, that chunk's the chorus. It knew how to split the verses. But some of the stuff it did was interesting. Like, oh, it turned that into more of like a bridge part, like just weird shit like that. But
yeah,
I wouldn't like put that on in my car and listen to it. It was just interesting.
Well, that's what I was trying to convey before. Is like if you take an AI generated song, and then you take a version, say you take a version of like what's the most emotion filled rock song that everybody knows?
Stairway to Heaven.
Okay. So take that and then have AI recreate Stairway to Heaven. Robert Plant style.
Oh, right.
Is the human listening to it, the human interaction you're having with the song, visceral enough that you can hear the emotion behind and feel the original compared to the AI?
No. But kids born now, right now, who are or kids that are 5 years old now, as AI music becomes the norm, I think they're going to care about that less and less. Where like they're just going to like most people don't go far back before they were born to listen to music. Not everyone does that.
I do.
You do, but not everyone does.
I sought out like I want to.
Like your kids aren't listening to Leadbelly or Eric Johnson.
Well,
in
they
the car
are.
with you.
Yeah, they are because I give them
them.
I don't make them, but I have it on purposely, so that it's in the background of their existence.
But the stuff that the music that we love most as people is the stuff that we grew up with. Kids now are going to grow up with AI music, that are like not real artists.
Right, that's what makes me fucking sad for that, because it's like, thank God I'll be dead when there's just nothing but a bunch of fake bullshit in the entire world. This is where Skynet takes over.
Everyone makes that comment, but it's not.
Well,
it's
he
not
said he
dude.
he just had some quote James Cameron somewhere. Someone was, I don't know if I saw it or someone was telling me about it, but he was like, they asked him like, what do you think the evils of AI are? He's like, I made a movie about it 25 years ago, like that.
40,
whatever
40 years ago.
Yeah.
Terminator 84.
Yeah, he's like, I already made a movie about that. That was his answer. Like, that's what can happen. That's the bad stuff.
And if there aren't regulations, which so far there's not really,
right?
That really is a
there
possibility.
There are starting to, like I said, this conversation that I had with this guy the other night, he was way more informed than I was because it's part of his business, affecting his end of his business. And he's a creative guy. Okay. And there are legislations that are being passed through and laws of like what can be copyrighted, what can you use, what can you sell as your own, There's been court cases that he was citing, this company took this guy to court saying that this isn't his work because he used AI. And now it's because once you put something into AI too, you're kind of letting it go also, because now it can use it in its database. It
learns.
Yeah.
It's a learning computer.
It's a learning computer.
It's so crazy. So someone just,
Wait, have you seen all those videos where it's just Arnold?
Of course.
But it's just Arnold noises.
No.
It's just like some scene from some famous movie where it's just, they just take it. It's, it's just that there's not even any finesse to it anymore. They're hilarious.
I'll look that up. Someone just put, how robots are getting better and better? Someone just put Chat GPT into a robot and just sat like this and interacted and whatever its name was, hey, can you give me some food? It goes, of course I can. And there's a bunch of shit in front of it. It knew what the apple was, picked up the apple, gave it to the guy, and said, cool, would you mind putting the dishes where you think they go? It's, of course. It picks up the dishes and sees that other dishes are in like a dish rack. We're there. Things are winding
suck
down.
My dick.
Yeah. Of course, right away, sir. Of course. Yeah, it's scary shit. All right, I think we're good here.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming in, buddy.
Thank you for having me.
See you next year, hopefully, sometime.
Yeah.
Wonderful. ASMR Todd. Throb, thank you very much. Thank you guys for listening. We'll be back next week.
This is Lola, and I'm here to tell the world to stop being such pussies and listen to Rare Form Radio.